Hello everybody and welcome back to the Northern Forge. Today I'm going to be doing a sort of a need a tool make a tool video. I was trying to the other day pull the differential off of my pickup truck, and I have discovered that some engineer in the late 90s decided that in order to pull out the front differential I also have to remove the steering linkage, and those bolts are in there real tight, they don't want to come out. So I'm going to be making a sort of puller. It's going to be kind of a U shape like this, and then on each end it's going to have a hook that goes in opposite directions. That way it can go on and rotate and then grab, and then there'll be a bolt that'll come through here, and it'll be able to push those existing bolts out. So that's what I'm going for. Let's go ahead and get the forge going and see what we can make. I had a request on one of my recent videos to include more shots of my forge in some of these. So Brady, this is for you. In real time, this took about 15 minutes to heat up, but I have it sped up, so you're going to see it in about 3. It was pretty cold on the day I was filming this, so the gas pressure in my propane tanks is somewhat reduced, and the forge isn't getting quite as hot as it normally would on a warmer day, but it is hot enough to go ahead and get started. For this, I was going through my scraps. You guys know I like to use recycled materials whenever possible. I've got this, I think it was maybe a hydraulic shaft or something of that nature, but it's got a couple of key holes or something in there. So we're going to cut it down. There's a section in here about 4 or 5 inches long that's nice and solid, no indentations or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to size, and we'll get it in the forge and start getting it hot. The cutting disc on my grinder is partially used, so I had to turn the bar around about halfway through, and I just finished the cut from the other side, and I'll repeat this again for doing the other end. And now that I've got a usable section of my bar cut off, it's time to get it heated up and start things off on the power hammer. As usual, when starting with a round billet, I'm going to go ahead and forge it down to square first. Now that I have a square, I can hold the steel with my V-bit tongs and start drawing down the ends. This will make the hooks, and I want to make sure to leave a thicker section in the middle. This is where I'm going to punch my hole, so I'm just going to draw down both sides instead of the whole billet like you normally see me doing. Once the first side is forged down about where I want it, I'm just going to switch around and I will start doing the other side. And with both sides forged most of the way, I'll take one last heat to make sure that both sides are even and length and in thickness. And now that both sides are mostly forged out on the power hammer, I'm going to switch over to the guillotine tool on the anvil, just with some fullering dies to clean up the transition between the center section and the arms. This guillotine is the C-frame from Christ-Centered Ironworks. I'm going to leave a link down in the description if you're interested. It's an excellent product. He sends it as a flat pack, and then you can weld it together yourself. Not sponsored or anything. I just think it's a great product, and I really like mine. And now it's time to punch the hole. I'm going to start this hole with a 1/4 inch round punch just to make the initial hole, and then I can drift out to the size that I need. I'm going to be using a 1/2 inch bolt. So I'm going to drift this out to 1/2 inch, roughly. Since the shaft of the punch I'm using is already about the size that I want to make the final hole, I'm actually just going to use the punch as my drift as well. This is not something that you normally are able to do, but I got lucky here because the punch happens to be the right size. Now, with the hole punched and drifted, I'm going to be using the vise, and I'm going to bend the arms up on either side of the center hole to 90 degrees. I'll take one heat here just to make sure that everything is straight, and then once that's done, I'm going to head back over to the vise so that I can put hooks on the ends of those arms.
I bend both those hooks to 90 degrees in opposite directions, and then once I've got that, I'm going to move over to the horn of the anvil, and I'm going to round them out. That way they'll be able to grab onto that round shaft better. With the hooks forged, I'm going to twist them a little bit so that they make a line that goes from one hook straight through the hole in the center and then onto the other hook. Alright, here it is finished. Just needs a little bit of a brush, and it needs the 1/2-inch bolt through the middle and a nut, and then this puller is ready for a test drive. Unfortunately, my camera here did die, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you want to see more.